Hey guys, it's Nick here. This is a quick Game Pass watch, and today I'm taking a look at the Diablo II Resurrected edition.
It is no simple feat to kill that which is already dead.
Now it's hit Game Pass so that everyone can play it, and it's actually even just gotten some recent DLC, which is quite a surprise.
They must be stopped.
What year is it?
So what you need to know about Diablo II Resurrected is that it is actually the original Diablo 2 underneath. You can do this great thing when you're playing where you can hot swap between the old game and the new game whenever you like, so you can really see the difference. But it's amazing that really the entire old game is sitting underneath this, and they've just put a beautiful new layer of graphics and so on top of it. Of course, there's some other modern comforts that are there as well, especially in this case that on console you have console controls. So that's a big one, considering when I first played this when it came out years ago, it was a big favorite of mine. I was a massive fan of Diablo 1, which was also my first proper experience playing online gaming when Battle.net or Battle.net came out. It was really mind-blowing stuff. But, you know, you were clicking around on your mouse all day long, and now we've actually got console controls as well, so you can play it on there as well. Diablo 2, if you're wondering what it's like and if it's worth playing compared to something like Diablo 4 or even Diablo 3, I find that Diablo 2 is still very much my kind of pacing, the kind of Diablo I like. And Diablo kind of lost me a little bit on Diablo 3 and then Diablo 4 because those games become a lot more chaotic. They're a lot about powers and just absolutely drowning the screen with effects and abilities and things. So it's tough to even see what's going on half the time. But that's my jam, but it's not necessarily everybody else's jam to have things a little bit slower paced. But this is more the Diablo I fell in love with all those years ago. And I think for many people, they'll find it a lot more manageable and a lot more just easy to digest as they're playing. It's not so chaotic. I really like the balance of the difficulty here. It feels like the gameplay, as I mentioned, is more manageable. However, what I do like is that the things like the boss battles or some of the areas I've gone into have kept such a decent line between me feeling like I'm wiping everything out, but also having to just keep a bit of an eye on my health and my potions and some of the more like sort of unique characters that you fight against, as well as the boss battles, have just enough difficulty to keep my attention up rather than either feeling like the game is way too difficult, which is often not the case. It feels the opposite. It felt too much for me in modern games like this that I walk in and just start blasting my skills and abilities until the enemy dies, and I'm not even really watching my health that much. This has felt like a pretty good balance, so I'm liking that quite a lot. It's nice to go back to. That said, it looks great. The Resurrected Edition running on what I've got here, the Xbox Series X, looks fantastic. I've actually had this on my Nintendo Switch for a while, and it's not bad on there either, although it doesn't look as good and it runs at 30 FPS, whereas on the Xbox you can run it at 60 FPS or a quality mode at 30 that looks really sharp and amazing, but of course you're getting that drop in the frame rate, and you wouldn't think it makes too much of a difference in this game, but I found that with all of the scrolling visuals in front of you the whole time because of the isometric view, the smoothness actually makes quite a big difference. So I very much prefer and suggest that you go with the performance mode if you have the choice. But playing on Game Pass, and especially with the Xbox version I've been playing, this has actually felt really good, and it's quickly become I wasn't expecting to play this much now. I mean, I'd played it on the Switch already, and I've played Diablo 2 a lot in my life, but it's been quite a while since I've really got myself stuck into it and dug into it. So I found that in the evenings right now, it's an incredibly nice, chill game to play, where you're essentially doing the demon hunting version of Power Wash Simulator, going into all the different areas and cleaning everything up and wiping everything out, picking up your loot. And I also like that about this as well compared to something like Diablo 3, where you had like these really streamlined systems where you could instantly pick up, equip, or junk things. But I found that it removed all of the aspects of item management in Diablo, and that game on console, Diablo 3 on console, really made me realize how much I missed that aspect of Diablo, and I realized that it's a part of the joy. It's not fun for me to just go out and smash things the whole time. I like that sort of cadence, that loop of going out, killing things, getting loot, coming back, sort of toying around with your things and, looking around, making space, selling things off, and then heading back out again. That makes the balance work for me so that I don't get just bored of smashing things and bored of sitting in town. So coming back to Diablo 2 has really been a good experience, and for now I can tell you that I quite recommend you take a look at it. If you hadn't considered it before, especially if you're already playing Diablo 4, you might find that if you've tried Diablo 4 and it wasn't fully your cup of tea, you might want to go and try this instead. It might actually gel better with you in a way that the later Diablo didn't. And of course, they're adding, they've added more stuff to this in a way that they can keep you sort of busy again, but the newer Diablos as well also have heavy systems or seasons and all these things where you can go in and sort of play them over and over and over again. This is, for me, some place I can go to just have a really nice focused Diablo experience and enjoy it again, and the music and the world and all the things that come with it that made it so special when it came out and make it feel pretty special now as well, especially that music. When that music hits, it's just the best. I've got a Switch 2 now that I'm trying it on and playing it on. And what's really nice is that this game has got cross progression. So I can play it on the Xbox, and if I'm out and about or wanting to just chill somewhere else, I can load up my character on the Switch 2 and I can continue playing there. However, it does come with a few downsides. Number one is that you have to have an online character if you want to play them across the different platforms, which kind of sucks because on something like a handheld or a Switch 2, where you might want to play separately, it's a bit crappy if you have to keep an online connection all the time. It's not always that easy. And if you lose connection at all, you lose your session to the game, which means you might also lose the parts of the map and area that you've previously unlocked are going to be gone now, and you have to sort of go out and re-explore them again, which is a pain in the butt if you were really close to just finding a teleport point or maybe the pathway to a new area. But other than that, the one other little annoyance I have, and maybe it's Switch specific, but possibly I'm not sure how it works with PC, is also that my skills and controls on the Switch were not quite, they're not actually bound on your HUD the same way. So when I jumped in with my character on the Switch the first time, this new character I'd made, I had to then go and change I had to go reset and rebind all the buttons specifically for the Switch version, and every time I hop between them, if I've made any progress, I have to sort of go and get that, back where it needs to be, and that's a little bit of an annoyance. So that's, the cross progression is cool, but also it could be better, but either way. So pretty recently, and I actually made a video about this, I ended up sort of mistakenly stumbling into Half-Life 2 and playing through the entire game on the Xbox using backwards compatibility, and playing it for the first time since it came out in the early 2000s as well. And, it led me to create a video where I spoke about how it feels like, gaming itself hasn't changed that much in the last few generations, but in terms of sort of the look and the gameplay and all that. But one thing that I've realized is that it's starting to become apparent to me, and I'm not sure if it's just because I'm getting older, that, the games from 10, 15 years ago are feeling way more, they feel way more focused, and they feel just like something that you can just really get engaged in and not be sort of distracted by all the fluff and the microtransactions and all these other things that are constantly being thrown in your face with newer games. So if you have seen that and it resonated with you, then yeah, you might feel the same way about Diablo 2, but at the same time, it just is making me wonder if I'm getting old, which is highly likely the problem. But it maybe is also just a completely objective observation that the games of today are bloated and really packed with so many things to keep you stuck in there, whereas whenever you go back and play something that's from just a little while back, it feels like you can just sort of, your brain can rest and you can just enjoy the game. So, are you thinking about trying Diablo 2 Resurrected on Game Pass? Have you tried it already, and have you played it for a long time, or is this your first time? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to chat with you guys. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button to let me know and help the video. I've also put up some videos I think you might like, so check these out. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you soon.